20 Incredible Shoebill Stork Facts. They might not be as famous as condors or bald eagles, but shoebill storks are still one of the most impressive, fearsome birds on the planet. Some of the most incredible shoebill stork facts have to do with their unique method of hunting and how their beaks have evolved to kill and transport. Here, we'll learn more about these incredible, prehistoric-looking predatory birds. We'll find out how big they get, how they raise their chicks, and where they get their name from. Read on to learn some incredible shoebill stork facts. 1. Shoebill storks are in danger of going extinct. Also known as the whale-headed stork, shoebills are currently listed as vulnerable to extinction. Despite their name, shoebill storks are no longer considered storks, they're actually in their own family of birds. This is because they have characteristics of storks, herons, and even pelicans. Their main threats are habitat loss and habitat fragmentation, as well as poaching and pollution. There are an estimated 3,500 to 5,000 shoebill storks living in the wild today. 2. Shoebill storks have long life. One of the most incredible shoebill stork facts is that these birds live a long time. Wild shoebills are thought to live in excess of 25 years, while zoo-bred specimens have lived to be 35. Because they have such a long lifespan, shoebill storks take a long time to grow up. Mating occurs either at the beginning of the dry season or at the onset of the wet season. Once the chicks are born, they take 3 years to reach sexual maturity. 3. Shoebill storks usually have 2 chicks at a time. Shoebill storks build some of the strangest nests in the animal kingdom. Rather than building them on solid ground, they build them on floating vegetation over relatively deep water. The floating nature of the nest, coupled with its location in thick vegetation, makes it extremely difficult for predators to reach. A monogamous mated pair builds their nest together and fiercely defends the territory around it from other shoebills. Then, females lay 1 to 3 eggs, with 2 being the most common. Both parents protect the eggs and, when they hatch, feed the young. 4. Shoebill storks are tall. Another incredible shoebill stork fact is that they are not small birds. Despite their size, they're not flightless. In fact, shoebills have an 8-foot wingspan. They stand between 3.5 to 5 feet tall and may weigh as much as 12 pounds. They have long, straight legs, long toes, and lengthy, powerful wings. Their predominant color is slate gray, with tones of light gray, blue-gray, and dark gray marking the wings apart from the belly. Their bills are light orange and just might be their most distinctive feature. 5. Shoebill storks use their beaks like water bottles. Their beaks might look comically large, but at up to a foot long and 5 inches wide, shoebill bills are nothing to be trifled with. They're lethal killing instruments, but they're also vital for keeping nests, eggs, and young chicks cool. Shoebills achieve this by using their large bills to carry water to the nest. Once there, they saturate the nest eggs, chicks, and all to cool it down. But that's not the only thing they use their large beaks for. Shoebill storks also clack their beaks closed to make a loud warning sound or to appeal to potential mates. 6. Shoebill storks get their name from footwear. Another incredible shoebill stork fact has to do with the origins of their unique name. Shoebills are named for the similarity of their beaks to Dutch wooden shoes, like clogs. If you ever get the chance to see a shoebill in the flesh, you'll see firsthand that the shoe does indeed fit. 7. Shoebill storks are native to Africa. Shoebill storks are native to select regions of East and Central Africa. There are populations of shoebills in Uganda, Sudan, South Sudan, Congo, Rwanda, Tanzania, and more. They're particularly drawn to heavily vegetated lochshores and papyrus swamps. They prefer tall grasses and shallow waters, where fish are plentiful, and they have plenty of room to avoid other shoebills. 8. Shoebills are vicious hunters. One of the most incredible shoebill stork facts is that shoebills are vicious and effective hunters. Their beaks are designed to both shear and stab. They hunt during the day, standing motionless in shallow, heavily vegetated areas. When they sight prey, they drop their body weight in one swift motion, stabbing the prey with the full weight of their body. Shoebill storks eat everything from turtles, lizards, frogs, and snakes to fish like tilapia, lungfish, and catfish. Their mode of hunting is alternately known as wade and walk slowly or stand and wait. No matter what you call it, you don't want to be a fish in the sights of a shoebill. 9. Shoebill storks like their space. Shoebill storks come together to raise young, but that's about it. They're known as solitary hunters who seem to have no desire to interact with other members of their species. Indeed, if two shoebills live together in the same zoo exhibit, they will eat their meals at separate ends of the enclosure. 10. Shoebills chatter with their beaks. One final incredible shoebill stork fact is that shoebills make a lot of noise with their beaks when they want to. They alternately clack their beaks in self-defense to attract mates and to talk to their chicks. 11. Shoebills' chicks often bully, fight and can kill their siblings, known as siblicide, when only a few weeks old. Rather disturbingly, this is actually rather common in larger birds. Often the older and bigger chick can hurt a smaller chick while their parents are away from the nest, eventually driving it to live away from the nest. Research suggests this is due to energy efficiency and survival of the fittest. 12. The shoebill female always lays 2 eggs, but only one ever survives. The second egg is seen like a backup, in case anything is wrong with the first egg. Usually the first to hatch survives only. 13. They are incredibly rare. Birding enthusiasts have to pay local expert guides to go on specialist shoebill tours and safaris to try and get a glimpse of the elusive, sought-after birds in the wild. This involves going way off the beaten track and into the swamps which they inhabit. 14. Sadly, the demand for shoebill storks is high, both in zoos or for private collectors. There are reports that they can sell for US $10,000 to $20,000, making them the most expensive birds in the zoo trade. The high price encourages shady traders to capture the shoebill and sell to zoos or middlemen, reducing the wild population size further. Shoebills rarely breed in captivity. 15. The shoebill has long fascinated civilizations. They appear in wall paintings and hieroglyphics of ancient Egyptians, and its old Arabic name is Abu Markab, or father of a slipper. This name is in reference to the bird's very distinctive beak. 16. Shoebill storks could win staring contests. Shoebills live in the vast wetlands of the Nile watershed in eastern Africa. You really can't mistake them for any other bird. They grow 4 to 5 feet tall, have bluish-gray plumage and an 8+ foot wingspan, and their bill, which takes up a majority of their face, looks like a huge Dutch wooden clog. Shoebills can stand virtually motionless for hours with their bills held down against their necks. Complemented by their golden eyes, the posture effects a very convincing death stare. 17. Shoebills may be more closely related to pelicans than storks. Over the past couple of centuries, naturalists have debated where shoebills should appear on the tree of life. Some taxonomists said that the shoebill syrinx, or vocal organ, resembled those of herons belonging to the family Pelecaniformes, which also includes ibises, pelicans, and boobies. Others countered that herons have specialized feathers that release a powdery down to help with preening, but shoebills didn't have these feathers, so they must be storks belonging to the family Siconiiformes. There is, in fact, not the shadow of a doubt that it is either a heron or a stork, but the question is, which? Zoologist Frank Evers Bedard wrote in 1905. More recent studies on the shoebill's eggshell structure and DNA have supported its place among the Pelecaniformes. 18. European naturalists were introduced to shoebills in the 1840s. A German diplomat and explorer named Ferdinand Wern was the first European to hear about the shoebill. On his expedition in Africa to find the source of the White Nile in 1840, Wern camped at Lake No, part of a 12,000 square mile wetland called the Sud in what is now South Sudan. Wern's indigenous guides told him that they had seen an extraordinary bird, as big as a big camel, with a bill like a pelican's, though wanting a pouch, according to a 1908 edition of the Avicultural magazine. About 10 years later, a collector named Mansfield Parkins brought 2 shoebill skins to England, giving British zoologists their first look at the weird bird. At an 1851 meeting of the British Zoological Society, naturalist John Gould presented a description of the shoebill based on Parkins's specimens and gave it the scientific name Balaniceps rex. 19. Shoebills are also called whale-headed storks. Balaniceps rex means whale-head king, evidently a reference to its bill shape resembling the head of a baleen whale, as well as a shoe. Other names for the shoebill include the boatbill, bogbird, lesser lechwe eater, referring to the shoebill's alleged taste for lechwe, or aquatic antelope, and Abu Markab, or father of a slipper in Arabic. 20. Shoebills really earned their fierce reputation. Victorian photographers learned the hard way that shoebills could be as mean as they looked. The shoebill is capable of inflicting a very powerful bite, 19th-century zoologist Stanley S. Flower wrote, and is by no means a safe bird for a stranger ignorant of its ways to approach, a fact which we often have to impress on amateur photographers anxious to obtain snapshots of balaeniceps at close quarters. It has been amusing to see how rapidly in some cases their enthusiasm has waned, when, as requested, confronted with the great birds screaming shrill defiance and crouching as if we're about to spring, with gaping bill and half-spread wings.